Hey, so I just thought I'd make another video. Um, I think sometimes people ask me and talk to me about racism in Japan, and because like a lot of people they hear like, oh, when you go to Japan, like people are extremely racist there, and you won't be accepted because you're an outsider. And so I just thought I would talk about like my experience with that. Um, let's see. I think Japanese people they have like a really group personality, so they want to stick it together, but I'm not sure if it's like racism or not. Like, well, there's definitely like a fear of outsiders to any group. And so like if you're not in the Japanese group, you're automatically like an outsider. There's like no gray area really. So people always think of you as an outsider. And so I think that's like one of the lame parts about Japanese culture is like if I'm here, if I'm acting Japanese, if I'm speaking Japanese, people will still always think of me as the token foreigner. And like people will always speak to you in English because they see like you have a foreign face and they just want to use English. And I think like they use English kind of out of they want to practice English and um, they want to make you feel comfortable and they think you don't speak Japanese. And like I know that I speak like really bad Japanese, but like I can get by. I can understand what people are trying to say and stuff like that. So I don't need people usually to speak in English to me. So um okay, and you go to a restaurant and people will like give you forks and stuff and they'll like say I don't know, these are chopsticks, but they'll go like fork 使い方わかる? And it's like, I understand how to use a fork. I'm from America. I would rather have a pair of chopsticks. Besides, this is a parfait. And stuff like that. But I guess another thing is like their preferences towards like other races and stuff like that. Um, Even though I'm American, I'm black or African American or whatever. So it's like people want to, I don't know, they don't think I'm from America. They don't think black people come from America. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm from America. I'm Obama and Will Smith's daughter, okay? Something like that. If it makes you want to like think that actually black people do come from the States. But I can kind of understand why because there's like there's a ton of like Nigerians and like South Africans, just like people from Africa in Japan, but like they're usually like either like factory workers or like scammers like or something like that. Like they work a lot in Harajuku and in I don't know, just like places like they're just outside like trying to get you to buy like usually counterfeit goods or go to a club or something. They're kind of scary and like they really kind of like harass people. So it's like, but I don't know. So I think that there is definitely like a preference for white people, and then I think among white people there's a preference. I'm not sure how guys work, but I'm pretty sure it works the same way as like the way they think of girls. Like girls, they want to have like blonde hair, light eyes. I think is like their ideal. So like even if you're white but you have like maybe dark hair, dark eyes, or something like that, they're not gonna give you I guess as much attention. Like I think it's not really like racism, it's much just like attention. Like if I go out and I hang out with like my white friends or something like that and go hang out with Japanese, usually like my white friends will get like kawaii kawaii kirei desu ne or something like that and it's like that's kind of rude. But I guess like this is a very visual society. There's lights everywhere, there's stuff everywhere. So I don't know. I think it's just culture, so I can't like pass judgment, I guess, on it. There's bad points and good points. Um, and like I was talking to one of my other black friends, and there's websites where you post like your picture and like a description about yourself, and people choose you to teach them English and stuff like that. And I was talking to one of my black friends, and we also had this problem where like people will choose you based on your picture, and then when you go to meet them to teach them English, like they get confused. They're like, "Why don't you talk like Tupac?" And like, "Do you know stuff about rap music?" And I'm like, "No, not really. I'm sorry. I don't really like listen to rap and stuff like that." So I guess yeah, they expect people to fit their stereotypes. that they see like in movies and TV. Because I think like Japanese culture, they get most of what they think about from TV and stuff like that. So it's just, I don't know, just like that. So like they think that all Americans are like just like stereotypical, like there's black, there's white, like as far not like as far as races goes, but like like just straight up, like they just think that things are exactly how they're stereotyped. So I think that's really, it's kind of interesting, and like I guess because their view of the world is like really small, like everything has to fit into a stereotype. So yeah, it's like people, they find out like for English lessons stuff, they're like, oh, you don't like rap, and then they don't like want to take lessons from me anymore. And I'm like, what? And like my friend, he was like, yeah, some girl, like she decided because she thought his picture was nice on the website, she wanted to take his English lessons just to sleep with him and stuff like that. So I don't know, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, shogunai, but it's not something that's going to change. I just think maybe as more foreigners come to Japan or more Japanese people go abroad, because I think Japanese people who have been abroad are usually like not as close-minded or simple small-minded as like people who never have left Japan, never really, like there's people who have never met like people who were not Japanese or Asian. So I think there's still a lot to work with, because I guess when you come from like America where it's just like so multicultural, like yes, you get used to multiple cultures and multiple people, and you just assume everyone is the same inside, or you get used to the differences. But Japanese people really aren't used to differences with people yet, so I think they just need more exposure, like real life one-on-one person exposure to foreigners. So if you guys come to Japan, just like give them your best, your best. Be nice, be a good representative of your culture, because I'm kind of tired of sitting in the train and listening to guys talk about all the Japanese chicks they're scoring. So I can understand what you're saying. I know that you may assume that I am not from America, but I do speak English, and I am from America. So if you're going to talk about all the chicks that you scored, please don't do it when you're sitting next to me on the train. That's kind of like disrespectful. What if your mom heard that? What if that Japanese girl's mom was riding the train and somehow she could speak English? So I think it's something that goes both ways. So I don't know, that's just kind of serious videos. Oh god, it's like 8 minutes long. So yeah, that's kind of just what I want to talk about. But if you have any more questions about like this topic, just like post it down there for me and let me know. All right, bye.